Whoa, look at you.
Think I'm overdressed?
Oh, no, but don't ask me. You know, I think you're overdressed if you're wearing perfume. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean for the TV show.
No, you look great. I don't understand why you have to do the TV show in the first place, but you look great.
Network called and asked me to.
Yeah, but you could have said no. And I wish you had. I don't think it can be helping you to tell this horrible story over and over again. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, why not take a break from this and let your mind drift onto something more positive?
Life goes on. You don't deny what happens to you, even though it might scare you. You get above it, you get beyond it. And this is a start for me in that direction. And I have to go, otherwise I'm going to be late.
Darling, I'm not asking you to deny this. You understand? It's just I don't think it's going to be as easy as you imagine to answer questions about this on television.
I didn't say it was going to be easy. I said it was going to be important. And you know, there's another reason I'm doing this. It's because TV glosses over issues. They don't show things because they think that viewers are going to be uncomfortable. Well, this is something I think that they should see. Because it's important. Otherwise, it's just going to be trivialized.
Well, I doubt they would trivialize something like this.
Yeah? You want to know who's doing this show with me?
Who?
An actress who played a rape victim and her co-star who's the rapist. I mean, what kind of reality is that?
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to cut through it. Somebody has to take responsibility so men like Critter aren't out on the street. Somebody has to realize that this issue has an impact that should reach people's consciousness. You have to please understand that I have to do this.
Yeah, there's just another angle that's worrying me right now.
What?
Well, whether or not Critter actually did this. You know, I went over the reports this morning, and aside from the fact that he threatened you and he's been in trouble with the law in the past, there's really nothing to lay this at his feet. Of course, if he didn't do it, whoever did is still at large.
What do we do if that's the case?
I'll turn this town over piece by piece if I have to. I promise you I'll find the guy. I just think it would be a good idea for you to stay out of the limelight for the time being, you know. Give me a chance, just give it a little bit of time.
What does that involve, staying out of the limelight?
Well, ducking interviews, especially on-camera interviews like this one, maybe not taking so many phone calls, just generally keeping a lower profile for a while.
Hide? You want me to hide?
Well, I think it would be preferable to putting yourself in jeopardy again, don't you?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't.
Why not?
This is an even better reason for me to do this show. Let him see me. Let him see that I'm not going to stand back and just take it. He can't go out there and do this a second time.
Okay, I hit the wrong nerve.
What, don't you think I'm right?
I don't know.
I do. I am not about ready to sit by if the man who raped me is out there running around and not do anything about it. I'm going to go and do interviews. I'm going to go into television stations. I'm going to stand on the street corner if I have to.
The idea just scares me a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't know why.
Well, I'm not afraid. Besides, I have you with me.
You can bet on that.
Thanks.
How you doing? You feeling okay?
Yeah.
You want something to drink?
No. I'm all right. Do I have a few minutes before I have to be out there?
Sure. Eric is talking to Tom and April now.
Okay.
Who are Tom and April?
Oh, those are those two actors I was telling you about. Tom Winthrop, April Cummings. They're known as Link and Lori, lovers on General Clinic.
Yeah, right. Didn't you say they... Didn't he rape her on that show?
Yeah, he did. Guess he overcame it. They fell in love.
Only on screen. Off the air, they hate each other.
Magic of television, huh?
Yeah. You know, this is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, this is how they depict what it's like to really be raped. I mean, what kind of reality is that? Does it make any sense to you?
No, that's sick. That's sick. You know, you could still change your mind about doing this. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you could just tell these people to stuff it. You don't need this.
Yes, I do. Look, I think I should go out and meet some of these people. Will you stay in here and watch the monitor?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, pay attention. I'll ask you questions when I get back.
Great. I really wish you would change your mind about this, you know?
I'll be all right. Really.
Okay.
I do not want to be introduced as Link and Laurie. I've got a real name, and nobody in America knows it.
That has more to do with your acting than being introduced.
Don't start with me, April.
I'm telling you the truth. Look, you're just so convincing in the part. People believe you are the part. I don't.
Now, children, your producer very specifically told me he wanted to plug the show and your characters.
That's right. Betty won't like it if you argue or if I tell her you argue.
You'd better not.
Excuse me?
We're a little busy right now.
I mean, Castillo, I was supposed to be on the show, I think.
I apologize, of course, Mrs. Castillo. Eric Morgan.
Eric.
And I'd like you to meet Link and Laurie, stars of General Clinic.
Tom Winthrop, it's just great to meet you.
April Cummings, do you watch our show?
I've seen it.
#1 rated show in America.
Well, if you'll take your seats, I guess we're about ready to start. Eden, I would like you right here. Tom over there. April, if you will. I will be in my usual godlike position so I can keep an eye on all of you. And I guess that's it. Relax for a minute. I'll be back to tell you when we start.
Eric told us about what happened to you. Ooh. Rotten luck.
I guess I really hadn't thought of it that way. Thanks.
I know exactly what you're going through, Eden. I mean, we've been doing this storyline for 2 weeks, and I had to do mountains of research on rape, you know, to sort of prepare myself for the role. I'm sorry to say, I didn't really get a chance to read about your actual situation, but in a way, you know, we've shared a common event. I think that makes us like sisters, doesn't it?
In a broad sense, I guess so.
Actually, I was really looking forward to meeting you. I told all my friends you were going to be here today.
Oh, really? Why's that?
Well, kind of selfish, really, but I was hoping you could give me some pointers on how to make my performance more authentic, you know?
You might try giving up cue cards. That ought to help.
You're the one that goes up on lines every 10 seconds. Just a retake. Anyway, any pointers, you know, tips? If you want to get together after the show, maybe we can compare notes. Would you like to do that? I mean, if you ever want to come down to the studio one day, watch us work, I can get you on set like that.
Would you like to tell me why you refused to see me at my office? I've had to track you all over this damn town.
I wasn't about to let my wife come to do this interview by herself. No, what's so important that couldn't wait?
But before your wife goes on national television and says something to implicate our suspect, you better know what the forensics report turned up.
What?
You found hair strands in your house, and they don't match Critter's. Now, do you think we're possibly accusing the wrong guy?
So what the hell are you gonna do about this, Victor? Are you gonna come to me and make reports like this? Or are you gonna get out there and find the guy who did this, whoever he is?
can't believe I did that. More tired than I thought.
Have you cross-matched the hairs you found with the sex offenders we have on record?
Not yet.
And who's going over the rest of the forensics reports while you're standing here talking to me?
Get off it, Castillo. We're doing the best we
In
can.
other words, you have no answers and very few questions, Victor. If the man who did this is still out there, you're handing him an open invitation for a repeat performance.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to make sure you were watching.
Yeah, well, it's right over there. Set up big as life. How you doing?
Oh, fine. I'm not as nervous. The stage manager's making me feel a little at home. Lieutenant Boswell? Is anything happening?
No, we were just discussing procedure.
Oh, I thought maybe you had some kind of break.
No, I'm afraid not yet.
So how do you like those soap actors?
No, please. I've never met two people more insensitive or uncaring in their life. She asked me to give her pointers. You know, pointers on performance.
Well, just don't let her get under your skin, okay? Come here. I don't feel good about this. I'm afraid that guy, Eric, whoever he is, he's gonna try to put words in your mouth. I think it's important that you take your time. You just say what you want to. You say, you start feeling uncomfortable, you just get up and walk away. You're doing this voluntarily. There's no reason. You don't have to be here.
No, I know. But I really do. I mean, this is important to me. I was out there, and two people like Tom and April, I mean, somebody's got to inject a little reality here.
I suppose. I'm sure I don't have to say this to you, but you can't mention Critter by name for legal reasons.
I know. I'm glad you're here.
So am
I should get going. Lieutenant?
Okay, I'll tell you what. You send the rest of those reports directly to me. I'm gonna get on them. I'm gonna stay on them until they give up a clue. There's got to be something that was missed.
Why don't you stop being a one-man police force? Nothing's been proven here, one way or the other. Right now, the one suspect we have is safely behind bars. Anything beyond that, we take one step at a time.
Fine, you can count steps if you want. I'm not gonna sit back and wait until another woman is attacked. Now you send me those reports.
Eric, I have to be honest with you. I enjoyed the challenge of playing a rapist. Ask any actor, and he'll say he wants to play the villain every time. There's more room to stretch. And, of course, I ended up with the best of both worlds because I not only got to be a bad guy, but I was able to rectify myself later.
You mean redeem yourself?
Yeah, that too. By falling in love with Laurie. It's a traditional story, right? Bad guy is saved by the love of a woman and becomes good. It's as old as Romeo and Juliet.
Was that the story of Romeo and Juliet?
April, why don't you tell us some more thing about the research that you did for this difficult role of a young woman who's a rape victim?
Well, I was very fortunate because our producer, Betty Bounty, brought all the books to me, and all I had to do was read them. It was a lot, though. I mean, there were, you know, textbooks and magazines and interviews, and I was really surprised at, you know, how many women had these horrible stories, you know, to tell. But I think the work paid off because I reached a point where I really felt I understood the true horror of being raped. You know, it was almost as good as going through the experience myself. No, did not say, not good. I'm almost as if, you know, because in our story, our storyline is I'm a very sheltered and protected little girl who's never quite gotten out in the world.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Of course, Mrs. Castillo.
I think I'm really trying to understand what you're saying here. Do you honestly think that you can understand the fear and the ugliness that you go through from reading a magazine article? I mean, do you really think that you really understand what it's really like?
I believe I said almost.
You go through something terrifying. It changes your life, and you don't think you're ever going to be the same. And I don't think you should make light of it. You don't obviously understand, do you? I mean, you really don't. I mean, people out there, they maybe understand more than you do. What it's like to be physically and mentally abused. Do you know what that's like? A TV character who falls in love with a rapist? I mean, is that what reality is all about? What kind of illusion are you trying to put over on these people, huh? I'm sure women, they just ask to be raped, too. Obviously, you two have no idea what it's like. Well, let me tell you what actually happens when a man rapes you. And not just what goes on mechanically, but what you really think and what you really feel. Maybe it'll give you a different perspective on this.
Who's there?
I was alone in the house when it happened. I was watching television, and the power went out. And so I went outside, and I looked, and my house was the only one with no power, and I started to get a little scared. So I went for my keys. One minute, you're living this normal life, and the next minute, you feel like somebody has torn into you and violated you and hurt you. And that somebody has tried to take away who you really are. And I tried to run for the door. And he was on me. He was wearing a mask, and he was dressed completely in black. He pulled a knife on me. And that's when I knew what he was going to do. And he kept hitting me. And hitting me. I couldn't move, you know. I couldn't scream. I couldn't breathe. All I could do was sit there and think it wasn't me. That this really, really wasn't happening to me. But it was happening. All I really wanted to say was that if it happens to you, that you should talk to somebody, because there are people who are willing to listen to you. There are people at rape crisis centers, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to call.
Call the Santa Ynez Valley Crisis Center, 555-3761.
Hi.
Hi. I've never been more proud of you. Got an awful lot of courage, that's all I got to say.
I feel a little drained.
I bet. I think what you did here today is probably gonna help more women than you'll ever know. Can I take you home now?
Miss Castillo, excuse me. There's a phone call for you.
For me?
You don't have to take it.
It's a woman. She says she needs Miss Castillo's help. It's about the broadcast.
Oh, I guess I should take it. Just a minute. Hello? I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
I don't know what to do. I heard what you said on the TV. I've been raped.
Hello, my name is Marcy Walker. Rape is a crime. It is a violent act of aggression against women which can produce emotional, physical, and mental trauma. If you've been raped, it's important for you to obtain speedy medical and psychological care. It is also important for you to notify the police. If you're a rape victim, please contact your local crisis center. Thank you.